So I was one of the 10,000 people to get laid off by Microsoft today.
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, we'll be talking about Microsoft has laid off about 9,000 workers. And if I take you back some few months, Microsoft also laid off about 6,000 workers. So altogether, it's about Microsoft has laid off 15,000 workers in the part of 6 months. So I've put the stitches together so that you watch. I'll be back to share my true sense.
I was one of the 10,000 people to get laid off by Microsoft today. Although I am kind of anxious and stressed out, I think this is a much needed break that I needed. I was feeling really burnt out after this past year. Even though we had like a holiday break, I still didn't feel rested after the break and just felt still extremely exhausted. I am a little stressed because, I'm living in New York and it's really expensive to live here. But they have given us a pretty good severance package. I just need to make sure that I have something lined up once that package is done. I'm going to take this time to rest, recharge, maybe travel. I haven't taken a trip in a while, and just reflect on what I want next. And maybe focus some more on making content and growing, because I feel like I've also kind of chilled out on making content. So I think I want to give that some more time as well. But yeah, fun employment. Here I come.
I woke up this morning and one of my biggest fears came true. My role was eliminated along with my entire team. I was getting ready to take my dog out for a walk per usual at 7 a.m. and I received a flood of Slack messages. 7 a.m. is about a half hour before I typically start work. And I saw one of the messages was from my immediate team's group chat. And I saw one that said, "I'm incredibly sad." And then I saw another message from my chief marketing officer that said, "Hey, do you have a few minutes to talk?" So for the second time in the last 14 months, I am now laid off again. There was a voice in the back of my head recently that knew this was a possibility. Being on the revenue marketing team, you're super close to how the company is performing and the health of the business. And there had been some red flags over the last couple months that had alerted me. I'm so bummed because I loved this company. I had such a great situation with my team, with my boss, and I'm just sad. It's such a bummer.
As someone who is still at a tech company that's done massive layoffs recently and has a lot of friends who are either impacted by the layoffs or are still at those companies who did layoffs, let me tell you what the mood is like inside the company. I read this article called Layoff Brain by Anne Helen Peterson, and she does a really good job of summarizing all of the tech layoffs and how people are processing it right now. So many of the tech companies of the 21st century have become so popular and famous because of the way they treat their employees and the way that they put their people first. And I think this article gets it right as to people's feelings after the layoffs. For the people who are still at the company, it's a weird mix of feeling guilty, but also relief and fear for what's coming next. There's definitely a lack of trust in the company that you work for. But I think the biggest thing that I've heard from people is the sort of identity crisis in that we're no longer in the golden age of tech and your company is no longer the best in the world. And I think people are struggling with that.
So reportedly another 9,000 people being let go from Microsoft. That's 15,000 in 60 days. What's going on? It's a $3 trillion company making record profits every quarter, and really paying their top exec staff quite a bit of money. Seems like you could use some of that money and keep some employees around. I understand getting rid of low performers, but layoffs are historically high performers, to be honest with you. People that have been around for a decent amount of time, that do a lot of work for the company. I know personally teams that I've worked with, that I was on, have really been struggling since the 6,000 person layoff, and it's just going to get worse with this layoff. So hopefully Microsoft, figures it out and corrects course, but I think you're going to see a lot more of this going forward.
It's currently 5:50 in the morning here, and I wanted to make a little TikTok about the layoffs at Xbox, and more importantly, Microsoft as a whole. This shit sucks. 9,000 people laid off, so many people affected, so many families. Obviously, our hearts go out to all the people affected. Hopefully they can land back on their feet somewhere. But man, what a dark day. 9,000 people, and 4% of all of Microsoft got laid off. If you look at the March financials, it shows that revenue has never been higher, and their stock price hit an all-time high. They just had an Xbox showcase that killed it. People really enjoyed it. They showed a ton of games, a lot of really cool new games, and all of a sudden, right before a holiday here in the US, they lay off 9,000 people. They take them off healthcare. They don't have to pay them the holiday pay. Perfect Dark is canceled. The initiative is closed down. This is insane to me. Insane. And Phil Spencer and his little press release that he sent out is so tone deaf to me, saying, oh, we had to do this because they will make us more agile, and ooh, don't worry, we're headed in a great direction. Hey, shareholders, listen up, shareholders. That's the only people that matter, not real people who actually make our product. It's fucking stupid.
That the VP of my department was laid off. And he was just the beginning. And throughout the day, I watched person after person, coworker after coworker, friend after friend lose their jobs, one after another. And for what? Not because there's no work to do, because that's not the truth. It's to make the bottom line go up. Hope that makes all those execs making way more money than those of us at the bottom feel so good. The people that are never gonna have to worry about how they're gonna afford to eat or where they're gonna live, because they're not the people that have friends coming and crying to them because they don't know what they're gonna do. Microsoft is a despicable company. And what they did today was disgraceful. The type of shit they pull with these layoffs, that they say, oh, this is helping us run our business better. This is, so we can continue to make high quality products. It's the biggest bunch of fucking bullshit any company could ever say. And I truly believe that. So, what it's really about is making their bottom line go up, because the only thing that they care about is money and making their shareholders happy. Because I'll tell you one thing, they sure don't fucking care about their employees. Otherwise, they wouldn't have laid off got how many thousands of people in the past several years. I mean, they're only what? One of the top 5 grossing companies in the entire world. But they can't afford to keep all these employees. Maybe they should just learn how to run companies better. Maybe they just shouldn't buy companies that are outside of their expertise of running. Just a thought there as well. It's just absolutely disgraceful and sickening, and I truly hate that I am an employee of an integrated company that is owned by Microsoft. It's a dirty feeling. And it was heartbreaking watching so many people lose their livelihoods today. And crying with a lot of my friends and not knowing how they're going to make it or where they're going to go next. And as a union, we're bargaining the impacts of these layoffs for my department, which my department, we lost, a third to half of my department, of my entire department. And for what? Ridiculous. Just to make the shareholders happy, because that is all they care about. It's a terrible world out there, folks. And large corporations have no soul. It's a sad truth.
That's a video, guys. I'm just here also to share my 2 cents, like what I think about today's video, because what's going on is just too crazy, guys. So I came across these videos on my FYP that Microsoft just laid off about 9,000 workers across his group, because they have different workers in different parts of the world. Microsoft is a very big company, so this is so heartbreaking, because last time I made videos about people who were laid off, like 6,000 workers were laid off from Microsoft. So in total number, Microsoft has laid off about 15,000 people in the, I think, in few months, like in 4 months space. It's not even 6 months yet. This is how crazy it is at this point. And most of these workers, they've worked their life about, I saw a video where a man was saying he was laid off after 28 years of working with Microsoft. So just imagine how old was he, like in his whole youth was working with this company. Okay. And I saw videos where, when you work for a certain company, you put your all in this company. So these people, they worked their all with this company. They were loyal. They been worked their holidays sometimes, and they helped with the growth and making the company to go up and have a lot of profits. But these people, they don't even see all these things, and they help to develop some softwares, because at Microsoft they do the gaming, the AI, all these things. They helped with all these renovations. Okay. And at this time, this is not the right time to lay off people, because one, in America, let me tell you, like, rent is getting up high. So when you have been laid off from their job, like, what are these people going to pay rent now? Because rent is still high, and I guess a lot of people have a lot of mortgages, and the money which they pay for the mortgage is too high. In 2025, everything is going up. When it comes to food, everything is going up. Okay, so all these layoff are affecting people in different ways, and these people, they have kids at home. Okay, and they love their work. It's so heartbreaking just coming out from a company which you've worked for your whole life. Okay, almost of your whole life, you've worked for it, and you've put much effort, and you are not even warned that you're going to be laid off. Like, you just feel this betrayal from these companies. Okay, and I feel like people should be protected, because most of these layoffs, they come without warning. Like, you're just invited from for a meeting, and you think like maybe all is good, then boom, they just tell you that you've let you go, because we are we are restructuring our company, so all these things. So a lot of people are just like, oh my god, what am I going to do? Like, what's next? Because people don't even know what their routine going to look like without their jobs, because their life depends on this job. For them to survive, they depend on this job. So when they get laid off, like, they just lose their sense of self, and people start thinking like, was I not working good enough? But all I can tell you is that you have not to think in those ways, because these companies, it's not like it's your fault that you've been let go. It's because the system has failed you. Okay, the system has failed you, because it doesn't just protect people like that. And most of these companies, they don't look at how loyal you are. They just want you to work and give them profit. That's all. And with these layoffs, I think people now, they're learning the hard way. Like, they're just, they don't even know what to do now. And most of the people, like, when they're making these videos, at least they are like eye opening other people. Like, if you have a layoff, like, you don't have to lose yourself. Like, a lot of people are going through the same. It's not like it's on you. So these videos are just eye opener to a lot of people, and people are learning a lot from these layoffs, and people are getting ready. Like, anytime from now, my job can go, and people are also looking for other opportunities, and just not going to be looking in one basket, but now they're looking to different angles. Okay, and so I've seen people losing their houses. I've seen people losing everything they wait for so long, because of these layoffs, because they don't come with a manual, or they don't come with a warning where people saved money, a lot of money, and they can survive for some time, because even the job market is trash at this point. You can't even find a job. If you say you're going to find a job, you're going to find yourself, like, especially for older workers, like, it's really crazy. Even younger ones, for now, for someone to find a job now, it's really hard. That's the truth. Like, the job market doesn't even favor anyone at this point. Like, people have been looking for jobs for so long, and they can't even find one. Okay, so it's crazy. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next episode. Bye.